Hi, this is Vonnie Ribeiro with Pray Ask Gifts, and I'm so grateful you joined us for the Aging Gracefully Challenge. We are on day 20. We're looking at obeying God and working hard at living in peace. For the past 3 days, we've been looking at Psalm 34:12. Do any of you want to live a life that is long and good? I think we can all answer that yes. Then watch your tongue, keep your lips from telling lies, and turn away from evil and do good. Work hard at living in peace with others. So, 2 days ago, we looked at not telling lies. Yesterday, we looked at turning away from evil and doing good. Today, we're going to do the hard work that is required to live in peace with other people. Because no matter how hard it is to do this work, it's going to be harder to live in strife. Okay, 3 qualities that will really help us live in peace. We're going to look at humility, we're going to look at wisdom, and we're going to look at love. And all of these are qualities that the Holy Spirit will help us with. So let's start with humility. A few days ago, we looked at pride and we looked at getting rid of the pride in our life. And now we're going to look at developing humility. The thing about humility that is so beautiful is we see it modeled in the life of Christ. And as I mention these attributes, you'll think of times when Christ illustrated all of these. One thing humility will do is submit and adapt to others. This is from 1 Peter 3:1. Be submissive, subordinate, not as an inferior, but out of respect. And the context there is between a husband and a wife being submissive to her husband. But humility will submit to anyone who's in authority. So that's what we want to do. And we want to submit to other people. Humility doesn't always have to be right, and it doesn't always have to defend itself. We see this in Isaiah 53:7. Yet he did not open his mouth to complain or to defend himself. The other thing we notice about Christ is he really didn't try to control people because he trusted God was in control. And Ephesians 1:11 tells us God is working all things according to the counsel of his will. So if we just humble ourselves, be submissive and adaptable, not complain, not defend ourselves, and not try to control others, this is going to go a long way towards helping us live in peace. Now, another thing we'll have to have is we'll have wisdom. Because sometimes, if you're dealing with extremely foolish people, people who are prideful and arrogant, unkind, sometimes the best thing you can do is avoid that person. And that's from Proverbs 14:7. Stay away from fools, you won't find knowledge on their lips. The other thing about fools is you don't want to try and correct them because they'll hate you. Reprove not a scorner, lest he hate you. Proverbs 9:8. Foolish people will also say foolish things. So you have to not let their words impact you and don't give them any power over your emotions. Proverbs 10:32 says, the mouth of the wicked knows and therefore speaks only what is obstinately willful and contrary. So foolish people do not think about the impact their words are going to have. So you will have to protect yourself. You know, we just came through COVID, and when you would go into stores, they would have these plastic shields to protect people from the virus. Well, you're going to have to put up a plastic shield emotionally to protect yourself from other people's foolishness. So when they begin to rant, when they begin to rave, you know, put up the plastic shield so that emotion doesn't come on you, and control your own emotions. Don't give them any power over them. The other thing, don't argue with them. If a wise man has an argument with a foolish man, the fool only rages or laughs, and there's no rest or no peace, as we're looking at today. That's from Proverbs 29:9. And my favorite commentator, Matthew Henry, has such wisdom on this. This is from 17th century. He that fights with a dunghill, whether he be conqueror or conquered, is sure to be defiled. So I'm just going to translate that into our current English. If you fight with a poopy person, whether you win or whether you lose, you're going to end up with poop on you. Don't argue with fools. The last commandment is, the last quality we're going to look at is love. It's the only thing that Jesus commands from John 15:12. This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you, which means loving sacrificially. The qualities we're going to have to develop are patience, kindness, humility, and the ability to overlook wrongs that are done to us. And that's from 1 Corinthians 13, 4 and 5. Such a beautiful verse, and I love it in the Amplified Version. Love endures long and is patient and kind. Love is never envious or boils over with jealousy. Love is not boastful or vainglorious and does not display itself haughtily. Hey, Bake. It's not conceited, arrogant, and inflated with pride. It's not rude, unmannerly, and does not act unbecomingly. Love, God's love in us, does not insist on its own rights or its own way, for it's not self-seeking. It's not touchy, fretful, resentful, and takes no account of the evil done to it. And that's 1 Corinthians 13:4. And that was Baker, my dog. So our challenge for today is think of a relationship where you don't have peace and ask God to improve that relationship. Also ask God if you need to take the next step or if you need to wait until God works on the heart of the other person. Sometimes there's not anything you can do about the negative feelings of other people. But I recently had a situation where there was an important relationship, and I asked God to improve that. And God, in His goodness, humbled me and humbled the other person. And I'm really happy to say now we have a great relationship. So if He can do that for me, He can do that for you. And that's today's challenge. Tomorrow, we're going to take a look at staying physically attractive as we age. We're going to look at what God says about it, and we're going to learn from Abraham's wife, Sarah, what were her beauty secrets. She's the one where kings were killing to have her in their harem when she was 60 years old. So that girl knew how to age in an attractive way, and we'll take a look at that tomorrow. So check back, and thanks for being with us today. Bye-bye.